What's up? What's up? It's Jackie here, co founder of Plant Chicks. And if you are not on our email list, you need to check out our blog. You will notice that I am here by myself today because Marcia, our amazing other co founder, she is taking a digital detox with her husband. So her husband is actually taking a sabbatical from work right now. And Marcia was thinking, she's like, I have been working since she was like a teenager. She's 47 years old now, and she has never, ever, ever taken time off. And they were talking, and they've decided that they're basically going on a sabbatical digital detox together. And it all started right now this week. And they're doing a beach vacation. They're in Florida. I'm actually in Georgia, guys. And they're doing all kinds of amazing things, which I think is so incredible. And this is the beauty of having a business, having your own business, but having a business partner, because I'm able to like jump in and take over when she needs it. And then she has definitely taken over times when I've needed it. And I'm so appreciative of that. So if you're on, make sure you jump in and say hello. This is Goal Call Monday. Every Monday, we jump on here, we talk about our goals for the week. And, I want to talk about something that it's about finding your why, because your why is very important. Why do you want to go on this Plant Chicks lifestyle? Why do you want to be healthier? Why do you want to lose weight? Because so many of you come to Marcy and I and you're like, I want to lose weight. But it's so much deeper than losing weight. A lot of you already know what you should be eating, what you shouldn't be eating. Some of you don't, and that's why our Plant Chicks lifestyle is super, super helpful with our plant plates. And a lot of you like know that you should be exercising. You're just not motivated to do it. Like put that one foot in front of the other. And one of the biggest things that's holding you back is your mind. Your mind is really, really powerful. We always say our brain is the biggest muscle and the hardest muscle to train. And you can have all the knowledge. I've got a ton of knowledge, but I've also had some really, really trying times where I didn't make myself work out. I chose a different heart. I chose to have another drink of alcohol. I chose to go to bed. I chose to push the snooze button. But now I'm choosing differently, and it's taken a lot of years, a lot of trial and error, a lot of consistency to start paving these new neural pathways and creating this more happy, healthier life, right? And one of the things I want to share, so I'm actually in Georgia. You'll notice I have this little different background. I'm in my dad's office. He passed away a couple of years ago, and we are cleaning out his office. My sister's in town. She's going to be in Georgia for about another week, and then she's going back to Vegas, and I'll take over the care of my mom. So my mother had another infection in her hip. If you're new, then you might not remember this. So around right after the lockdown, it was like September, October of 2020. My mother had an infection in her hip replacement surgery that she'd had like a year or two prior to that. Yeah, 2 years prior to that. So she was on IV antibiotics. She had a PICC line, which is a line that goes into your heart, where you could not into your heart. It goes into it like it goes into your body, and then you are able to administer medications right away, because sometimes some medications are too much for just like a regular vein. So this PICC line goes directly in. Maybe it is the heart. Anyway, doesn't matter. But my sister and I are administering these IV antibiotics that my mom has. So we did that 2 years ago. She was doing well. And hey, but we're back up here. So my mom had another infection, and she was supposed to have surgery like 2.5 weeks ago. But all of a sudden she went into atrial fibrillation. And I learned a lot. So I've always heard of AFib. So if you know this, just bear with me for a minute. But atrial fibrillation, a lot of people live with this. Say hi when you guys are on here. So my mom, she could feel like her heart was racing, and she could feel like fluttering in her heart, because in the atria, that's one of the chambers of the heart, instead of pumping out blood like the way it's supposed to, these strong contractions, it kind of like flutters, and then every once in a while it'll pump out blood. But it's like these little flutters heart rate can go super, super high and then go lower again. It's crazy, but my mom couldn't really feel it. And they couldn't do surgery because when you're in atrial fibrillation, you're more likely to throw blood clots and you're more likely to have a stroke. So they took her off as being a candidate to have her hip surgery. So they admitted her into the hospital, tried to get her heart under control, and then they rescheduled her surgery. And she actually had surgery like Monday, 2 weeks ago today. So my sister and my mom just left to go to the 2-week follow-up for her with her orthopedic surgeon. So long story longer, my mother, she was in the hospital getting everything taken care of, and my sister was up here. She's a doctor of Oriental medicine. My sister was with with our mother, and it was something. Oh, my mom was taking a drink, and my sister was getting the whole room ready for her to. Or she was going to go home, but my mom took a drink of water and she like choked. It went down the wrong pipe. You know when that happens, and she started coughing. And my sister, was like, it was horrible. Like she couldn't even breathe. She was like coughing so hard. And then all of a sudden my sister looked at my mom and she had, like, part of her face was paralyzed, kind of like right here, right? So it was drooping down. And my sister was like, wait, mom, are you okay? And then she was like, can you smile? And mom smiled and it was a crooked smile. She booked out. My sister ran out, got the nurses. And thank God it was just a small stroke. My mother is fully recovered from that. But it was because my sister was there and the medical team was super, super quick. And that was just amazing. My mom was in the hospital for about 2 weeks. And I flew up here on Wednesday, April 20th to Atlanta. She lives outside of Athens. And she ended up getting discharged that night. So we all came home the night that I flew in, or the day I flew in. And we've been here ever since. We're cleaning up the house because my mother has finally agreed. This house is huge. I have been trying to get my mother to move for so long. And finally, she's agreed. She's going to move to Las Vegas, which is where my sister lives. My brother's in Seattle. I'm in Miami. All of them were options, but she's decided to go out to Las Vegas. Super, super grateful for that. But my sister and I've got a lot of work to do here at the house. So we've been like madly trying to clean and organize, and we're going to do a big estate sale. It's just blah, 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 like a lot of stuff. But what I'm getting at, it has to do with my why. And this is where I want you to dig deep and think about, what is your why? Why do you want to change the life that you have been living so you can be healthy, so you can have more energy, so you can lose weight, so you can XYZ, whatever it is, right? Fill in the blank. So my biological father, he had quadruple bypass last April. So it was a year ago. And I wrote a big newsletter about that. Like, this is my why. I've got a ton of heart disease in my family, and I don't want to have that same fate. Obviously, I've got the genetics for all that heart disease, for getting diabetes. We don't have a lot of cancer in my family, but it doesn't mean I can't get cancer. But I've got the genetics that predispose me to getting heart disease and becoming obese, because a lot of my family is morbidly obese. People look at me and they are always surprised when they find out that my parents are overweight, that I have some unhealthy relatives or whatever. But this is my why. And I love my parents, love, love, love. And I'm so eternally grateful that I can be up here with my mom to help her. But watching her, like seeing her in the hospital, she's had so many surgeries in the past 4 or 5 years. And this little hospital stint has been scary because she went in like fairly healthy, but now she's got atrial fibrillation. She just converted back to sinus rhythm. My sister has an Apple Watch. They're going to get my mom an iPhone and an Apple Watch, because on the Apple Watch, and I have cardiology friends who recommend the newer version of the Apple Watch where you can get EKG. So my sister is always slapping on her watch to take mom's EKG, to get an EKG. But my mom can feel it when she flips back and forth between atrial fibrillation and sinus rhythm. It's kind of cool. But getting back to my why again, like, I want you guys not only to write down what your goals are this week, because when you write them down and you look at them throughout the week, you look at them every day, multiple times during the day, you're more likely to achieve them. And when you have a why, when you have a really powerful why, you're more likely, instead of pushing that snooze button, to get up, get your workout in, or to get that meditation in, versus like pushing that snooze button, right? Because your why. So my why, I'm seeing my mom having these health problems, and I don't want to live the last decade of my life in and out of hospitals, having tubes on and off my body. I don't want that. Now, I'm grateful for modern medicine. So I don't want you guys to think that I'm saying anything negative about this at all. But it's just in my face and I see it so much as to why it's really important. And it's also important, my friends, to build a really, really solid foundation. I've been living this lifestyle. I really started this plant chick lifestyle around the time I got sober, which is coming up on 10 years. And so I've got a solid foundation. Like I've always known that our lifestyle is medicine, that the foods that we eat, the exercise that we do, the friends we surround ourselves with, the community of people, our plant chicks tribe, our prayer life, our spiritual life, like all these things, meditation, sleep, all of these are so, so important. And water. Don't forget that water, ladies. Don't forget the water. All of these are super important, but not but. These are super important, and it's really important that they're a super solid foundation, because life is going to happen. You're going to have a sick child. You're going to have a sick parent. You're going to have a sick spouse. And it's so easy when life starts happening, when life starts getting crazy, when your mother's in the hospital and you don't know what's happening and you're nowhere close. Like, it's stressful. So it's really easy to turn to Ben and Jerry's or turn to a bottle of wine. But you know what? I've created this solid foundation for myself. And this is what we teach you in our Plant Chicks tribe, in our Plant Chicks lifestyle. Start choosing your heart. You get a choice. I had a choice. I could stress out about all this, or I could be grateful that my sister was here before I could get up here. And it's beautiful too that my siblings and I were all working so, so well, going through all of this together. My brother has some medical situations happening that he's not able to freely come back and forth right now. But you know what? Once we get my mom moved to Las Vegas, he'll be able to see her a lot more frequently, and it's going to be beautiful. And another little silver lining on this cake is my mother-in-law. She turns 80 this year, which is amazing. She's a little spitfire. And we're doing a whole like Tarleton family. We were going to go to like the Dominican Republic, but we've decided we're actually going to Vegas. My husband called me. He's like, "Hey, what do you think about Vegas? We could do so many things. Da, 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 da." And I'm like thinking, like in the back of my head, I'm like, well, my sister and my brother-in-law are there. My mother is moving there. So yeah, I'd say Vegas is perfect. And then they'll be able to come in, and like it's going to be like a reunion of her wedding almost too, in addition to my mother-in-law's 80th birthday. So I'm super excited. My brother and sister-in-law, they'll come down, even if it's for a day or two. It's going to be amazing. So let me wrap all of this up in this very long-winded diatribe. Choose your why. What is your why? Claim it, write it down, put it in your, like, create like a funky fresh screensaver for your phone and write in what is your why, or write in your goals for the week and make that your screensaver so you look at it every single time you pick up your phone. And you know, sometimes people can pick up their phone like hundreds of times during the day. If you pick up your phone that many times, think of how many times you are looking at the goals that you're writing down. So I double dog dare you, write your goals in the comments. And I also double dog dare you to make it a screensaver. Make your goals a screensaver so you can look at them multiple times throughout the day, and you can slay your goals, because my friend, you are worth it. I can't wait to see you. I can't wait to see you slaying your goals. Tag us. I'm here. Marcia is going to be enjoying the next 2 months, just like refreshing, rejuvenating, taking that sabbatical. She's traveling. She's doing so many amazing things. She's also going to Tony Robbins, which I'm super jelly. I'm super excited. cannot wait to hear about Tony Robbins. And, she's going to be doing so many things. She's going to come back. She's going to be so energized and so motivated. She'll share everything that she learned through taking the sabbatical. Like, this is something. Okay, I'm going on another tangent, but bear with me for a second. This is something that's so important. And I've had conversations like this with my friends before. Like, when we grow up, we go to school, we go to college or don't go to college, whatever we do. And then we start working. And then we work until we're like 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 80. Like, people work, 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 and then they retire. Don't you think we do some of this wrong? Like, I think we should do our schooling, maybe work a little bit, and then retire. Like, do a little semi-retirement or do some more of these sabbaticals like Keith and Marcia are doing, and enjoy it, because we're like young and vibrant and we can do things. Like, I want to explore the world. Thank God my husband loves traveling. Honestly, I don't know if I could have married someone who didn't love to travel, because I love traveling. I love visiting other cultures, learning about other cultures, learning the history. I really think that I would have liked history a lot more if I would have traveled more. I didn't go to Europe until I was 30 years old. 30 years old. And I remember being in Paris and learning all the history of this art and like just history of the wars and all these different things. I'm like, man, if I would have been here younger, I bet I would have liked history more. Or if I would have had a really hot history teacher who was really good. Right? All right. You guys, make it a great day. Don't forget to write in your goals for the week and claim your why. Think about it. If you've not decided what your why is, if you've not written it down, I want you to write it down. I challenge you to write down your why. Remember that why. It needs to be important. It needs to be strong enough that when that alarm goes off at 6:30 tomorrow morning, you don't press snooze. It needs to be strong enough so that when you're really sleepy and you want to go for the coffee, you don't go for the coffee, you go for the meditation. That's what I'm doing next week. I'll talk about my meditation. And I want to hear from you guys in the comments. So I want to change it up for these goal calls over the next few weeks. I am in Georgia, obviously. Thank God I have like 5 different workout outfits. So I'll try and wear a different one every week for Goal Call Monday. But do you want to see meal prep? Like, do you want me to do some meal prep on Goal Call Monday? Do you want to do a workout? If so, what kind of workout do you want to do? Do you want to cook a meal together? Let me know what you want to do, because I'll do that. I don't want to just always be sitting here talking. Next week, I do think I'm going to talk about all my different technologies that I use to master what I'm doing and how to personalize what works for my body, between my Apple Watch, Zoe, which I only have my continuous glucose monitor for another couple days. You guys, I'm loving Zoe, and I'll do a full on like YouTube video. I'll do a full thing on Zoe. I'll get the full report in like 4 to 6 weeks. So that's going to be something exciting. I can't wait to talk about my Aura ring. Like, I've got so many different devices that are showing me where I can make tweaks, where I can make changes. But I'm going to go into that next week. That's going to be the topic next week. Like, how can you level up? How can you do things that motivate you more? What are some tools that you can use? Lumen's my other tool. I've got like all these different things running through my mind. So I'll talk more about that next week. And if you want to join me, I'm going to be going on Instagram in about 10 or 15 minutes. So I will continue Goal Call over there. And I hope to see you soon. Don't forget to write in what your goals are. It was great seeing you. Bye, Annette. Thanks for being here. And y'all, have an amazing week. You got this. You're worth it. Choose your heart. Choose you. Make it a great week.